What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Leveled Up Life podcast. It is Branamier, Courtney, as always, here with my main man, Paul McClain.
Good to be with you,
Across the table.
Yeah. We got to do an air one.
Yeah, it's the air one today.
We can't reach today.
It can't reach. A little too far. The reason we're far apart is because we have the dream team in the house today, Bobby and Michelle Amato. I'll let Paul introduce them. But, hey, if you're tuning in, thank you, number one, for tuning in. Turn it up right now because there's going to be a ton of value. We are here to help you level up your life in all the areas that matter most to you: faith, family, fitness, finance, and franchise. And today, man, I'm excited. We got Bobby and Michelle, like I said, that I've just got to know recently, but they have been absolutely killing it in real estate for a long time. Paul, I'll let you formally introduce them, but as always, man, I'm glad to be here with you.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Here to help this audience.
Well, I'll tell you guys this much. One of my affirmations I put in place in 2025 was, man, God, just bring to me some great people that we could partner with, that we could do something great with. And then you guys showed up. And I was like, that's an answered prayer, because we're looking for good people. I think we talked about it a little bit last week, that a lot of times when you look at somebody that's built something great, it's really not them. They've just done a good job in finding good people, developing good partnerships. And so for you guys, I know for one, you've been in real estate for 8 years, right? You've been married for 5 years. You've reached a high level. In fact, you've sold a lot more real estate last year than most people do that have been a realtor for 80 years, right? You guys did over 35 or 40 homes, also flipping houses. Mm-hmm. And I texted this to you guys a couple days ago. It was your 5-year anniversary. And I think you're also just a great example of a relationship where you guys both serve each other. You can't hide stuff. It's like I always say, if you want to know somebody, work with them or move in with them, right? Once you do that, it's like, well, I didn't see that side of them. It's like work with them or live with them. And now that I've been working with you guys, I can see how authentic your guys' relationship is and how true it is. And so there's a lot of different questions that we've got today that I think are going to really unpack these areas of our life that we do believe matter most, which is the leveled up life concept, your family, your faith, your fitness, franchise, finances, and so we're going to dive into that. But just want to say welcome, guys. Good to have you guys with us.
Thank you. What an intro.
Yeah, I know. That was great.
Dang, I feel honored to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, it's good to have you guys.
Well, let me say this. I'll open the first question because I feel like I can relate a lot because I work with my spouse as well. Right, and so me and Mariah pastor the church, and so we're often doing things together. Yeah. And so it's been amazing. Obviously, a huge blessing. I wouldn't be where I'm at, certainly if I was doing it on my own, right? And so there's definitely the blessing side of it. Yeah. But there's also times where we're both like bulls in a china shop where we just want to run each other over, right? And so we're trying to build a great organization that serves people and gives back to people and offers value. You guys are doing the same thing. And so I guess my question to you, it's a selfish question, but how do you guys not kill each other and build something great, to serve your clients? Yeah. How does that work? How's the dynamic?
I will say for me, he's the cook.
Okay.
So it's really helpful when you're fed.
Let's go.
That's deep right there.
Don't bite the hand. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Very good.
That's true.
She's preaching already. That's true. Very good.
Feed your ladies, everyone. Okay. Feed your ladies.
Well, that's not what I was expecting, because now Mariah's going to be like, you see, now you got to cook for me. So, Bobby, what do you say, bro?
You're going to be a chef now, Chef Branamier.
Yeah, that's not what we were looking for.
Yeah, let me turn my attention to you, bro. What's the secret?
That's funny. No, I mean, it's always difficult at first, just like what we were saying right before this. It's hard to live with someone. It's hard to work with someone. And I think as long as you have that expectation is this isn't going to be perfect. We're not going to mesh perfect at first, but we're going to find our groove and figure it out. I mean, that's what we've done. At first, I remember we were kind of stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
We have very different personalities, very different styles, but we find our groove and it flows very well.
Nice.
And open communication, for sure. There are so many appointments we'd go on where I'm more of a talker, and he's more chill, cool, calm, collected. Mm-hmm. So there'd be appointments where he'd be doing his thing, and then I'd talk over him and say a stupid joke like usual. Then afterwards, he'd be like, babe, let me have my moment.
Yeah.
And then I learned to respect it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to take some responsibility. So I'm like, okay.
No, I think what Paul said, once you live with someone or you work with someone, you really find out who they are. So I think the balance is knowing what your role is, knowing what you're good at. So one of you is loud. I'm not gonna guess which one. One of you is quiet. But figuring that out, I guess, is the key, right? No, I love that because it's definitely a hard thing to navigate, being married to your business partner. Yeah. But from what I can see, you guys are killing it. I think people see that same thing as well. Just the genuineness, the dynamic, the just one thing that I've just witnessed through your guys' Instagram is like you guys care about people, right? And I think that's what's most important, especially in your guys' industry, because it can become very transactional. Like you're just there to make money, you're just there to get the transaction on to the next. But I think what sets you guys apart, just from my perspective, is like you guys care about people. You guys actually want to serve the client. I think you posted a video of like you moving someone out, and I was like, that's above and beyond.
100%.
And I know just in my industry, it's all about people, right? And so people can see through the fake. People can see through someone that's trying to make money or get a deal done. And I think one thing I just admire about you guys is your ability to just care, and it shows, you know. So I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
That you guys figure that out. Absolutely.
Well, I want to unpack like the whole client and really treating them above what they even believe that you're going to treat them as, right? So, but I want to tie back to something you guys just said. I think it's a great point relationally when you're like, you know, I think we just realized that it's not going to be perfect. And I think too oftentimes, whether that's in relationships with your spouse or in business, you have this like checklist and you want it to all be perfect. And if it's not, then you develop frustration and resentment, and then there's no cohesiveness, there's no growth. It's just like now you're against each other. And I think that was a perfectly stated, you know, statement, which is like we just know like it's not gonna be perfect. We're gonna have different things. And then Michelle, I love what you said, which was like, you know, we talk about it, and then I'm like, okay, got it. Like maybe I should, you know, tweak that or adjust that. And I think that's one thing that I know even in business when it comes to finding the right people to work with is people that they can take criticism. They can be open, because if we're not perfect and we know we're not perfect, right? Yeah. Well, then there's going to be adjustments. We're always fluidly trying to get better, grow together, understand like what works, what doesn't work. Okay, that was set, like all that kind of stuff. But if you're not able to take criticism or just critiquing, and you're always defensive, well, that stops and halters growth, you know. And I love what Craig Rochelle said, Brian. He said this in I think a couple weeks ago. He had a podcast, and he's like, when they do their interview process, they literally will see, they'll get somebody up to do like a whole presentation, like a speech. He's like, they're not even going to be a person that's going to be necessarily communicating from a platform, but we then have people give them feedback, and their ability to respond to the feedback determines our decision.
That's actually their interview.
That's
how
their
they
interview.
receive the criticism.
Yeah, how do they receive it? Because if they can't receive it, they're not going to grow. And I feel like if you got two people in a business, two people in a relationship, and one's not going to receive some feedback, because we're all going to mess it up, well, then it's going to halter it, right? And so I think that's great. First, knowing that, hey, the list of expectation, I can't be so just set on it that if it doesn't match up, now I'm mad. But the other part of it is with clients, when you go in, they have a list, right? And their list is like, I want you to help me find a home. I want you to help me find a buyer, whatever that might be. For you guys, you built such a massive referral business. Like you've not worked leads. You've created what I call like raving fans, where the clients are kind of like the hands and feet of your business. They want to go tell people about it. And now you got phone calls and people reaching out to you. Now, I don't know about you, but Brent, like I think every business owner, that's what they desire,
100%.
Is that they can receive the phone calls, they have inbound calls, not consistently doing these outbound calls. Inbound calls reflects your guys' ability to exceed expectations. And so I want you to kind of unpack that. Like what are some things that you believe you do that really kind of allow you to exceed those expectations for clients? Brian kind of stated the one, because I think anybody watching this is applicable as a realtor, but it's also applicable as a spouse in any business that you might be running.
So I'll go first. Like the biggest philosophy that I use, or how I walk into every single appointment or every single client, is I put myself in their shoes, because we've had clients deal with divorce, death, health issues, like so many different scenarios, or even really joyful scenarios where it's their first house or something exciting. And every time I kind of just put myself in there and I imagine what I would want and how I would want to be treated. So I make sure to treat people the way I'd want to be treated, right? But then I also have to ask them too, like, hey, is there anything you're expecting from me? Is there anything you're looking for? So that client that you guys mentioned, he specifically, I asked him, and he did say, he was like, you know, my mom's, her health is declining really badly, and I'm out of state, and I have a whole house I have to pack up, and I just need help. And I don't always pack people's homes for them, you know. I'm not a U-Haul company, you know. But because that one specifically, he told me that that's really what I need. Obviously, for me, I was like, okay, well, I'll do it, because I got to help you out. So I'd say find the, I guess the issue, or find the need and then fill the need, is the way that we run it. And then after that, we always say that once you work with us once, you'll never not see us again. So we try to visit our clients at least twice a year, at least. But the more clientele we get, it is more difficult because we want them to see our face. So we're on the door like, hey, what's up? How are you? But
good.
Yeah, it's true. And I think like we've been very blessed to do like a decent amount of transactions. And so that allows us to not be very transactional. We're able to like, because we have multiple things going on and we've built that business, is we're not 100% relying on this one deal to close when we understand like, hey, we may not make as much money on this, or it might be a little bit more of a headache, or hey, if this doesn't work for this client, it's not the best situation, like let's pause, let's get out of this deal and go find something else. And so we're able to serve, and people feel that for sure.
Yeah.
And so I think having that mindset of abundance and just being there to help and put in your client first, because you're there to represent them, not yourself, that's a cool little mindset switch that we've done.
No, I love that, because I think, especially being in sales, and it really applies to any industry, like people could sniff out, like I call it commission breath.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're just like,
sure.
it's all about you. And even like in the church world, right? Like a pastor or someone could be so happy that someone's there that you're like, hey, oh my God, I'm so thankful that you're here. And it's kind of like, buddy, relax,
You don't know me, bro.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
But you become, tell me where that mindset came from. Just the mindset to serve, to give, take care of the clients. Like, talk about that. Was that instilled from your parents?
Honestly, I'd say it's always been there. I mean, for as long as I can remember since I was young, it's always been treat people right, treat people the way you want to be treated. I know we talked about it earlier, but I grew up in the church, so I've always kind of heard all the scriptures, and it was always just nothing but life being spoken into me. So I never looked at people in any other way than just to help them and to know that people need help. So.
Yeah. I mean,
What about you, Bobby?
Wink, wink. Come on, babe.
Yeah. No, it's as simple as that. Like just treating people as people and not dollar signs. And so as it may come off a little cheesy, but like we don't look at our past clients as past clients. We look at them as forever clients. And we tell them that, like, once you do a deal with us, like, you're stuck with us forever.
Yeah.
And so, we're really good at that. We're really good at staying in front of them, doing the pop-bys, like she said. We have a couple of really cool systems in place that, like, give them gifts every quarter so that we're always in front of them there. And little things like that. And social media makes it so easy, too, where they feel like they're seeing you and interacting with you, and they're really not. And so,
And we show up, too, because sometimes your clients, they want to be your friend too, but if you're kind of like, no, like we already did a deal together, bye, then you don't, like, you kind of lose that potential friendship. So then we've had them invite us to their baby showers, their weddings, funerals, and we show up.
Yeah.
We always show up, no matter how hard it is or awkward it is. I know no one likes to go to funerals, but for me, it's just like, well, for us, it's just be there for them in a time of need, and that's it. Like,
dude, this is like a sales masterclass. Like, I hope everybody's catching it. Like, this is how you sell. So if you're in sales, like, I just don't know why my close ratio sucks, I'm not reaching my goals. It's because of this. Like, caring always trumps competency. So I think too often people are trying to learn more opposed to just sitting back and say, hey, what's my viewpoint of me and my client relationship? Because at the end of the day, like you said, Michelle, if you just start with like, this is a human being that needs help, and you actually kind of put on their shoes, that's everything. Yeah. Like, what are they dealing with? What do they have going on in their life, right? And that changes the whole paradigm shift. It's kind of like if somebody cuts you off and you're super mad and angry at that person, and you're like, wanting to cut, like, you're like, this idiot, like, but then you find out that person's spouse just died.
Not me.
Not
Brand. I just bless them.
Never Brand.
Right there.
Yeah. He prays for them.
May the Lord bless you.
They're number one, not the other thing. But the reality is, if you knew that they just lost their spouse, it would be completely different. And I think that's what you have to go in with, knowing that, like, this person's got stuff that they're navigating. How can I just meet them where they're at? And I love the question. So anybody that's on here, that any profession, Michelle's question is brilliant. Like, I just want to know, like, what do you expect from me? Because I want to exceed expectation. Like, what do you expect? Because now you know exactly how to meet them in their specific need, because everybody is a little unique and different. Yeah. They're not all the same. But I think if you're in sales and you're trying to treat every client like they're the same, you're never going to provide the value at the level that it needs to be provided, that's going to create that raving fan where they want you to go to their wedding, where they want you to go to the funeral. Because the truth is, that's just a reflection of your guys' relationship with them. They're not every realtor is getting invited to those things.
Yeah.
Right.
Most realtors, what happens is the transaction's done, and that's the end of it. You've met my expectation. I needed my house to be sold. You sold it, but you guys developed this transformational relationship that says, I value you, I respect you, I appreciate you. And so, man, that's such a big deal.
Dude, it's unbelievable, because I was just thinking, and I heard on a podcast recently too, it said most people's heart never gets broken, it's simply unmet expectations. And I think just leading with that question, like, hey, what's your expectations so I can exceed them? Because I think most people don't ever even answer that. I'm thinking, even me as a pastor, it's like, hey, when people walk in my church, hey, what's your expectation of me, of the church? Because they might not have even thought about that question. And they go, hey, that's a good question. My expectation is just to come here, sit, and listen. And if we exceed that expectation, well, now they have no reason to leave or to talk, right? So it's like the same thing with sales. Like, hey, what's your expectation of me, of the company, and how could I exceed that? And then when you do above and beyond, it's like, well, I just thought you were going to sell my house for me. I didn't expect for you to pop up at my door.
Bro, why are you still at my house?
I didn't expect you to be my friend. You know what I mean? And so I think anyone in any profession could ask themselves, hey, am I asking my customers, my clients, like, hey, what's your expectation? And then figuring out a strategy and a system to not only meet it, but exceed it, I think is brilliant. So.
And definitely don't get offended, because sometimes they will be brutally honest, but you have to want to know the truth. Like, if you ask someone like, oh, what can I do better for you? And they just say, oh, nothing, and you're happy with that, you know it's a lie. Like, there's always something you could do better. So for me specifically, we do it a little bit differently, but I definitely dig a little deep. I'm like, no, really, is there anything I can do better? And then sometimes they'll say like, oh, maybe a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that, whatever, and you adapt.
Yeah, so it's like you have that open mind where you're looking for even feedback from the client. And I think that if anybody's watching this right now and you kind of feel stuck, I think maybe you got to ask yourself, like, am I really open-minded to just hearing feedback and getting critiqued, or is my self-image at a level where I just can't deal with that? Because I think it's a reflection of self-image. Like for me, Michelle, like I would describe both of you guys as like very self-secure, confident, and like a very healthy self-image, right? Like that's what I see from you guys. And that self-image, it's built. So sometimes we're focused on the fruit of like why we're dealing with what we're dealing with clients, with our spouse, and those kind of relationships. But maybe it's the root is, man, my self-image, how I see myself and my identity is just not where it needs to be. And then obviously to me, you got to go back and unpack them. So like, well, who are you? Whose are you? And then really kind of get that identified to get back to the place of like, let me just now start keeping some of these promises to myself, knowing who I am, and build that self-confidence, self-image. So now I can receive the feedback, I can receive the critiquing, because I feel like you've said that now twice with Bobby, like, hey, what could I have done differently? Like, I did not say that joke, that whatever, right? And then with the client as well, I think it's both ways, and so I love that. What are some of the things that you guys feel like you do? You said the gifts. Is there anything else that somebody watching today you could say, this is a practical thing I do to really exceed expectation and show the clients that we truly do value them?
I mean, it's individual, like you were saying. Like, you can't, there's not one specific thing, but the biggest thing is just staying in front of people. And I think that's why a lot of agents don't have a referral-based business. Like last year, almost 90% of our transactions came from referrals, sphere, or repeat business, which is crazy. Wow. And yeah, so I mean, that's nuts. But I think most agents don't have that because referrals don't happen instantly, like a lead come in and might. And so it takes years. Like, why would you go and talk to someone who may not buy or sell a house for another 7 or 10 years again? And so just staying in front of them, keeping in contact with them, reaching out when you're thinking about them. That's something that we learned very early on. Like, if someone pops into your head, like, there might be a reason they're in your head. And so, like, just a simple text of, hey, like, you came into my head, I was thinking about you, hope everything's well. Like, that goes a very long way.
Is there any other questions that you guys like ask clients, like the expectation being one of them, but just questions that you ask to kind of show that, hey, I'm interested in you, I'm interested in what you're looking to have accomplished, like where it's about them? Is there any other kind of questions that you guys feel like you kind of routinely bring up and ask as you build this relationship with your clients?
Yeah, I mean, every time we sit at the table, it's always very goal-oriented. What's your goal? Where are you moving to? Where are you going? What's the next step? What are you thinking it's going to go like for the next 10 years? Like, you know, we just ask all the questions, and then we help get them to the right direction based off what they say.
Yeah, I think it comes with maturity in the business, too. Like, you don't really have to ask the questions, but you'll pick up on the conversation. So if you have a client moving out of state and you could see or hear that, like, man, I'm so stressed, I'm gonna have so much stuff I have to get rid of, like, that's your chance to provide value. Instead of leaving them stressed about it, that could be you to take that off their shoulders and be like, hey, we'll take care of that. We'll get a trailer over here. We'll get a team, like, bust it out and you're good.
God, so good. Yeah. I mean, everybody, like, this is sales, like, one-on-one. Like, this is how you close. Most people think it's tactics and strategies. It's just really valuing and caring about people. And I love what you said, like, if we see a need, we fill it. Right? That's one of the things that we developed in our family from Pastor Matthew Barnett at the Dream Center. His whole thing is, like, if we see a need, we fill it. If we see a hurt, we heal it. And it's just about finding the needs. And I think it comes from this place of I'm more interested than interesting, right? And I'd always tell all the salespeople that I was training is, like, if you're interesting, meaning that you're telling the clients about your background, how many homes you close, how great you are, they don't care. Right?
Yeah,
like, they really do. There's a way to kind of weave that in a very, like, craftful way where they do see you that as a person of credibility, right? They do want to know, like, have you done this before?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're really more interested in you being interested in them. And so it's kind of like I've always said, if you know how long they've been married or if you know that they've been married and they know that you're married, you should know how long they've been married for. If they know I've got kids, I know that they've got kids, I should know how old their kids are. So they know about me, but I know way more about them. And that's what shows people that you value and you care for them, right?
Yeah.
And so I absolutely love them. And I think that's a home run is are you becoming more interested in the people? Or are you trying to find ways just to be more interesting to those people?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And then just the responsibility, like being there eager to learn and say, like, how can I be better in this situation? I mean, a common one I bring up to my team all the time is anyone who's been in business long enough, they'll have a friend or family member, whoever, that they expected to use them and didn't. And then they're mad at that friend or family member and blame them for not using them instead of reflecting back and being like, how could I have been so good that they had no other choice?
I love that. Yeah. Accountability and responsibility. That's perfect.
Oh, we're big on that. Like, anytime there's an opportunity to have an excuse, no. We definitely are like, nope, no excuses. Like, we are fully responsible for any deal we've lost. We are fully responsible for all that. Like, we don't blame no one. Highly, highly against
business is a lot easier when you take responsibility. I've noticed.
Well, it's easy to blame.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's
well, especially when, like, you're self-employed, like, it's your business. It's easy to make excuses and put it on the vendors or your agents or your team. But at the end of the day, like, it's on you. You know, and I think, you know, it's so easy to just pass the buck to someone else. But, like, if you're building something great for your family, for your future, it's like you got to take some responsibility. I just love the mindset. And you guys are raising up a team, right? I see you guys recruiting, doing interviews, all that good stuff. You guys recently have switched to Leveled Up to Real. Talk about that transition for a little bit. What does Leveled Up mean to you guys? Why did you want to switch? Like, obviously you built a successful real estate business prior to Leveled Up, but now you're here. Talk about just why, I guess would be the first question, and then what does, like, living a leveled up life mean to you guys?
Yeah, dude. So honestly, I mean, we weren't even looking to make a move at all. Like, we were completely good with where we were at. We were comfortable. We were producing well. We were actually one of the top producers at that office. But
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
You were already killing it.
You were.
He just sprinkled it in there.
We were killing it already.
Jeez.
But we have bigger goals. And so, like, when we first met with Paul, like, we met, and I remember we hopped in the car, and we're kind of just like, yeah, it was cool, but not for us. We're good where we're at. And then we just really took some time and thought about it, and we're really just thinking, like, in order to get something that we haven't got, we have to do something we haven't done.
That's right.
And so being around this group, learning from Paul, and just being in the environment has helped us a ton, because he's able to bring a lens, not from real estate, which at first I was concerned about, but it's really been really cool. And so.
That's good. What about you?
Yeah, I would say that was, like, a big concern for us was, are we really going to do something where the leader isn't even an actual broker? That's a big deal. Like, in our world, that's, like, the biggest risk you could take. So even when we made the decision, it was like, are we fully comfortable with this? But knowing that what Paul has accomplished, especially at such a young age, and you're still young, and you don't have to even do this. You don't have to coach and pass your knowledge on. Like, you're done, basically, is how we see it. So to see him still driven and still disciplined and still kind of like showing how you can follow those footsteps is really inspiring to us. And for us, it was kind of just like a no-brainer. Like, you know, if he already did it, who better to learn from?
Well, the cool thing about that too, guys, is like when I chose the brokers that we ended up getting going, like objectively, like it just made sense in all the things that any realtor should quantify, right? Like compensation, building a team, all those kind of things. But it just goes to show like that whole concept, you recruit not what you want, you recruit who you are. Because above all that stuff, like it sounds like your guys' heart was like, do I want to follow him, right? Which I'm very grateful that you decided to say yes to it, and I hope that every day that goes by as we build that relationship and we work together, you're more assured, confident, and feel better about that decision as you guys continue to grow. Yeah. But it's just a testament of like most people are out there trying to just like find out the best tweaks and adjustments of the business model and all those kind of things. But a lot of times it comes down to like, do I want to work with that person, right? Yeah. Does that person look like the kind of person that's going to take me to my chief objective, my desired outcome, and really to the life that I want to live? And so very grateful and humbled that you guys said, hey, let's partner up. And to me, I think it's like it was a good decision. I'm biased. Like I think it was a great decision for you guys. But I think what we're going to create and do is going to be massive. Like the ability for you guys to lead and lead well with the team that you're bringing on board, the people that you're working with. And my whole goal is to be a partner, right? And I think that's our goal, me and Brand, as we start the podcast, is like, we don't pretend to know everything, but we want to partner with people that are going after a common thing, and that thing is like, let's just like get a little better every day in all the areas of our life that do matter most. And so like, I hope you guys have felt that like it's a partnership. You know, I said the other day, like we're not looking to create a dependent culture where the only thing that will win is independence. Like you can't build a real business if you're dependent on somebody. And so like my job is just to kind of like partner with you guys and say, hey, listen, this is what we're going after. This is how we build, recruit, how we empower, equip. And I've already learned so much from you guys as well, and you know how the business works. And so it's just been a beautiful blend. The one thing I want to point out, because Michelle, you said this maybe a month ago. You came in and like you're always fired up. I love your energy, by the way. Like I feel like energy is infectious. You guys, 100%. If you're watching this, you're feeling the energy. I feel like
she thinks I'm messing with her, but she's messing with me the whole time. I'm usually like very serious and like, you know.
Yeah,
usually? I haven't seen this version.
That's what I'm saying. You're bringing something out.
Yeah. You're inspiring different energy, but you're very infectious. Great energy, great attitude. You know, I think you even said it earlier in the podcast about like just going to different countries and seeing what others have to go through and what it is. It kind of gives you that ability, appreciation. It's like sometimes I want to take my kids and just like drop them off on D Street and say just live here for 2 days and then pick them up and maybe they'll appreciate stuff. Yeah, but
shout out to Route 66.
Yeah. But you said, Paul, like I've had a hard time sleeping because I'm so passionate. You got like this. You said you had this like new energy. Like what do you think caused that? Like what led you to this like new revived passion that you've got? Being the fact that you're still in the same business, but this passion has now showed up in a different way for you.
I would say the best way to explain it is just that now I see the future that we've been wanting to create way more like realistic, like right at my fingertips. And so now when I come to the office or every day I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so much exciting things to work towards, which I'm always very upbeat and always just with stars in my eyes and excited to accomplish things. I've always been this way, but it's just like a new era of Michelle, where now I'm back to not sleeping much. Like now I'm waking up, I'm staying up late, just like all these things I got to get done, and I don't know, I'm dreaming again. I had that when I first got licensed, and that's, I would say, what got us here, because I was definitely the pusher at first, and now here I go again, just pushing in a different way.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I think the main thing is whenever you're building something great, like you always want to be around leaders. And this is not to like pump up Paul, but like the truth is he's an incredible leader.
Yeah.
And he has an ability to articulate a vision to not just anybody, but to like high level leaders where you can come under a covering like that and you could see a brighter future. So I think what you guys are experiencing is not that, is like a bigger version of what you even had in mind in the first place. It's like, hey, now I could partner with other like-minded people and build something that really not only blesses me, but blesses so many other people.
Yeah.
And that feeling is infectious, right?
Yeah.
And then as you guys build a team, like they begin to see their future in your vision as well, and it just begins to just bless so many people. So I think it's cool what you guys are building, what you guys are doing. I know you guys had mentioned to us off air about a podcast coming up.
Oh.
You guys want to drop that?
Go,
Is it next week?
Is it coming out next week? 2 weeks? Couple days?
Sure. Just kidding.
Let's timestamp this.
Yeah, let's timestamp it right now.
Mark my words. It's
Here it is. What is it called? What's the idea? What's the thought? Who you want to help?
Yeah, so we're working on it. We're going to start recording for it within the next week or two.
Okay.
And it's called Built Together.
Let's go.
And so it's going to be obviously Michelle and I talking about just our experience in business, our relationship, and just how we go about life while bringing on some cool people who we enjoy hanging out with and just getting to learn and let you into our life.
We'll have to switch chairs and you guys interview us.
Yeah. Well, you just invited yourself to a podcast?
First guest. Here you go.
First game. We promoted.
Dang,
I'm
you
actually.
got guts.
I'm really looking forward to like making this a part of my weekly podcast.
On the podcast. There you go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. You know, I love the scripture says like, you know, whatever's admirable, trust, you know, true, excellent, praiseworthy, a good report. Like think about those things. I think that's the greatest thing that clouds somebody from that passion, that zeal, that purpose, is they're just consuming a bunch of just crap, right? And so I think if we can get our consumption right, then all of a sudden purpose, vision starts to be born. And just today, like on this podcast we've got right now, like I want to be on it simply because I want to have another conversation with you guys, like because it's been that good for me. Like you've said so many things that were great reminders on just like how to sell, how to connect, how to value people, because it's so easy to get caught up just kind of chasing your own goals and desires. And at the end of the day, I don't know which one you guys said it, but you said like if you just, you know, treat people the way you want to be treated, that's the ticket, right? And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you guys have exemplified that. So like those are two reminders where I'm like, at the end of the day, stop chasing a knowing, stop chasing more of just like understanding. Why don't you just chase the heart of people? Because if you can touch a heart before you ask for a hand, the hand will be available. And so you guys have shown such a great example of what that looks like. It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Dude, even when this door is like open, he's just
Hey, but seriously, it's gonna be good. You guys got to mark your calendar because this is gonna be a great podcast. I'm really looking forward to being a part of my weekly consumption because you guys have, you know, I think there's some people that really are killing it, Brandon, like in one lane. Like that could be business, like right, they're crushing it, and they have good advice. You kind of want to listen to what they have to say in business, but then you look at their family, you're like, all right, I can't ask them about their marriage because I don't want the feedback there, right? Yeah. Or I can't ask them about the fitness, and it's very not common where you see somebody that's actually truly making all those things a priority. And I feel like for you guys, you really fit the leveled up brand very well because, you know, you guys are going after all those things. You guys value your relationship, you value your people, your business, your finances, your fitness. And so it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. Here we go. I got some rapid fire questions. You ready?
Oh, rapid fire.
All right. Childhood nicknames. You got any?
Bobby.
Well, because your name's Robert, so the nickname's
Bobby,
stuck.
Boo.
Boo?
I get called Boo.
Who called you that?
His mom.
Booby.
Okay.
His mom.
I like that one. So if you ever meet the lower level leaderboard, your name goes to Booby.
This is actually,
if you're ever not producing, that's your name.
This is actually a really funny story. So we went on a trip one time to Mexico, like a missions trip, and we had a door knock. And every time Bob would go to the door, he'd tell everyone, like, my name is Bobby. And they'd all be like, Baba. Like, they couldn't say it. So they'd call him Roberto. Then the last house we knock on, this kid walks by with his dog. And we're like, what's your dog's name? And he was like, Bobby.
Like, perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Perfectly clear.
That's hilarious. That is great.
Crazy.
That is funny.
My nickname, I think, I was just Michelle.
Michelle?
Which isn't a nickname. It's my name in Spanish.
Zerati.
Oh, yeah, Zerati. Everyone called me Zerati. That's my last name.
Okay.
My maiden name. So it's Zerati.
Any good book recommendations? Favorite book? Or something you're reading right now?
I mean, I like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a very pivotal book for me, so I'm super.
When did you read that book? How old?
I was probably 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be anybody that's watching this that's younger, read that book. My buddy Andrew read that book when he was 18. And he literally, dude, when he was like 22, he was making like $500,000-$600,000 a year at the time already.
Jeez, yeah.
He had like concrete, no carpet, you know, and he was dating at the time. He didn't have like a serious girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, like you have like 150 grand in your account.
Yeah.
Why don't you, like, what do you even tell the girls when they come over? He's like, I just tell them it's under construction. I was like, what if they, what happens if they come back a year later? He's like, it's a long construction project. But he was just putting everything back in his business because he wanted to get
lived in
out
like
that
an
rat race.
$80,000 house.
Yeah.
It was just like.
Drove a Saturn that was like breaking down the way. I mean, took it way. I was like, dude, you got to get a functional car. You miss an appointment, that's $1,200. You know.
Yeah.
But
hey, you know what? The style now is concrete floors. Have you seen that Joshua Tree style?
yeah, it wasn't.
This
He
is
started
not
a
nice
trend.
concrete.
Yeah, this was like glue because you.
Yeah, he didn't have all the carpet over here. It was like some tax over there.
It wasn't. What
It's
you
a hazard.
Yeah, this wasn't like it was all. Yeah, it wasn't what you thought.
All right, favorite Netflix series or what are you guys watching right now?
We don't watch TV.
Yeah, we didn't have
Okay.
TV right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Our first 2 years of marriage, no TV. We literally played lots of games, like literally. And then
That's a tip.
And
It is.
then, I don't know. We don't really watch TV like that. I like movies
Yeah.
though. He loves Batman, Christian Bale version.
I like Batman. Yeah.
Hey, that might be the biggest tip we've had on the podcast.
TV.
No, I mean, for the first couple years of marriage, like, how do you like you learn to like live with that person?
Oh yeah.
Now, I
we
feel
were
like-
super like we're getting to know each other.
I mean, that's
We even
really
had a
cool. What a
journal.
foundation to set
Yeah,
up
yeah.
because I feel like a lot of times, even when you get the kids out of the house, right? I'm not there yet, and I got a long way to go. You got a long way to
Yeah.
go. But there's been a lot of times where that relationship starts to crumble because like it was built upon the kids. It was built upon routines, and it was never built upon their relationship. And like you guys do that the first 2 years, that's powerful.
Yeah,
so if
that's good.
anybody's willing to be that disciplined, play games, just connect, just talk, and put the TV off, you know, for the first season of your marriage, I think that's powerful, man. That's
Love
a
it,
big
yeah.
tip.
No TV, no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and
No
part
Wi-Fi.
of it.
No Wi-Fi.
Yeah, part of it was because we were always on
You
the
guys like
move
Amish
too.
or what? What was the real
We
name?
should have been.
You might have missed out on your calling.
Bunch of pilgrims?
You build?
Start getting outfit changes. I'm in
Can you build me a dresser? All right, last question. Favorite place you've traveled and where are you guys looking forward to going next?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, we just went to Tokyo. That was
Nice.
really cool. Yeah. But local place, I mean, I love Newport. Like, I could go to Newport, stay there, and never want to leave.
I'd say
Beach house soon? Find a beach house?
Oh.
I don't know about soon, but yeah.
Probably not beach house, maybe condo. But for me, I'd say I loved the Philippines. Like, I'd say like some of the best people I've ever met. Super hospitable. They're the kind of people where they have one last piece of bread, they'll give it to you because they want to be like super hospitable. So I lucked out because I married a Filipino.
Let's go.
like how you did that.
Can you
I like
make
how you did
you
that.
make pancit or lumpia or?
I don't know what it is with these
No?
I don't even know
Filipinos,
what
but they
that is.
love their food. They
I
love
don't even know
sharing
what that
food.
is.
Give you the last bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great, guys.
We started
I
with food. You said
appreciate
he's a chef, and now he's giving your last bite. So
Yeah.
we wrap it
There we
up.
go.
Yeah,
Bring
you
it
need
full
to have
circle.
his steaks. He's
There you
really
go.
good, but Chef Bobby is legit.
Well, you just bought a beautiful house, dude. So we're just waiting for the invitation.
So
House
yeah, we'll
warming.
come on the podcast, and then we'll come over to the house. How
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
that?
and then we'll go
Just
to
invite
yours
ourselves.
after. And then
good.
yours too.
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll house jump.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you guys all jumping on. I hope this has brought you significant value. I would highly suggest that you like, you subscribe, you share this. If you care about people, I always say this because it's the truth. If you care about somebody, you will share it with somebody because this might be the very thing that might help them level up. And one of the areas that they're just looking to have it leveled up, but maybe it's just stuck, stagnant, and they want to break through. So, guys, we love you. Appreciate you. Thank you guys again for joining. Be strong,
guys.
stay steadfast, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless you guys.